Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever. I'm back again, looking down at the city of Neuve Revergrad. And I am a bit excited because I've been making plans. And wanted to talk to you guys about a few things, but I wanted to show you this. I have a big chunk to work on here, but let me put on the wireframe for a second. And what I did was worked it to the point I could get this level, right? So I took out some of this hill. This is pretty close to level all the way across the front of here. Now, I don't know that that's our goal, right? This is a little bit higher than other places, and it doesn't really matter, right? We don't need to be level, but I sort of wanted to get an idea of what level meant. So in other words, here's the difference, if you guys can see that. I'm not sure with the shadows, but, we're about 2 or 3 blocks, maybe two blocks down from, probably 3 by the time you come up to here. So if we were to try to make this whole area level, I think that's a lot of extra work. It took quite a while. I dug into here a little bit deeper. Now we could go even deeper, right? I could set a road all the way down the hill here and just keep this process going. I don't think I'm going to because I don't think it's that important. But if you're not level, we're going to get quite a few less houses in here. But I think we're okay with that, right? Because, if this is 46 houses over here, and I can put some on either end, like I pointed out, we might put a train station here. We can get more houses in between, right? So it's not like we need that many houses up on the hill here. So I'm definitely picturing a 2 or 3 tiered setup. So if we come across, you can see we're at about the equivalent location over here. And just because the distance that they'll walk to the train stations is sort of fixed, right? Now, this one probably could have another house or 2 on it now that I look at it, but the bottom line is that more or less 3 or 4 train stations. I could picture 3 train stations up here, and that might work out pretty well. So I'm almost thinking of putting the train stations towards the front here, because I already have this sort of level line, right? So that would be a good place. And then it wouldn't necessarily hurt if the houses were a little higher up the hill. Like picture an embankment that's about this size going all the way across here, right? So the next step for me, off camera, of course, will be to level along where this road is. So I did, get to the point. I might have to delete that road, but I put it in there just so you guys could see better. And it also helps to fix these hills in case you make a little bump in the wrong direction. But I'm planning on taking out the rest of this, which will just be, one of those times when I feel like watching TV or YouTube. It's sort of when I just sit there and, just level until my finger gets tired of holding down the mouse. But you can see it's a big project, but it's not the end of the world, especially with how easy it is to level. Now, I've heard also that we can get more equipment involved. I don't have the maximum, but I did bring up the extra bulldozers, which don't help with the road leveling, but they do help with just pushing this back in. So we'll see how it all lands out if we push this back over a little bit further to square it up. But keep in mind, this is all sloped from this road anyway. So I might have even leveled more than we end up leveling, if that makes sense. Like if we were to, thank you, autosave. If we were to draw this road straight out here and then level up to this, kind of like we did over here between these roads, you can see it's kind of like a ridge all the way across there, the yellow. Anyway, so we may re-flatten this out, slope it. But anyway, so we got enough cut in, and we definitely got enough to build lower sections of the city. I flattened out all of this in the meantime. So yeah, I got rid of the building here because if you look, there's some unevenness. So I'll probably just smooth that out at some point. Probably even get rid of this. These were, sort of placeholders, not entirely, but obviously I didn't plan that out. So I'd like to talk to the next subject. Here, let's turn up the wireframe. I'd like to talk about the economy and what's going on with it a little bit more as far as how I see the summary of it. When you get to the year 2010, money is worth a lot less than it was. For example, when we buy and sell things here, steel is $14,000 to buy 1 ton of steel. So you can imagine, we can't, when that's 14,000, what we could buy like less than 100 steel, and we'll wipe out all of our rubles, which means the money is sort of becoming a joke as far as like its actual what a ruble is worth. So when you see me lose $10 million, or if you think, oh, look, he's got $10 million, he's got a lot of money, it's nothing compared to having $10 million at the start of the game. It would be, well, let's see, if we just did a little bit of math here, I'm willing to do like 14, like when you start out the game, let's just say, and I know it's a little bit less than this, but steel is worth 400. And assuming that steel price is relative to the dollar or the ruble, it's probably as good a number as any other, right? So like, do they all go up evenly? I'm not sure, but let's assume they all went up pretty evenly. So in other words, food costs just as much more percentage wise and all that. So if I divide 14,000 by 400, that's 35. And with that, again, if my assumptions are correct, and they're probably in the ballpark, this money is worth 35 times less. So if we were to take the 10 million, if you started on easy, right, you would take 10 million times 35, and you would get 350 million. So my 11 million, or let's call it 10 million, is worth the equivalent of 350 million in the original game money when we first started out. So I say all of that because in some ways I want you guys to realize how on the edge we really kind of are. In other words, this is not much money. So in some ways I don't panic about it because I know that our economy is running and it's still producing. But it's also the reason why, now what do you say? It's the reason we have to check for things like this, right? So why, where are you? Oh, you know what? I did a little experiment, and this is the kind of thing we got to watch out for. That's our steel train, too. We don't want to mess him up. Now, where would he be going? Yeah, see, I don't think he should be stopped. I don't understand exactly why he has a red or a question mark on there. Oh, did he go to get fuel? Yeah, where are you heading to? In Portska. Yeah, so why can't you get to Importska? Let's just go think about this, because obviously I'm messing with things, so yeah, you can't go that way. Well, you wouldn't. Yeah, you would go to here. I don't understand why you can't go to there. Because the truth of the matter is, this guy... No. This guy's going to... Yeah, the bricks guy's going to Portska now too, right? And he's on the same exact track. What is it? What is it that's holding this guy up? Is there some... Yeah, see, that's construction into here. No, that's not a fuel track. Are you... You have no fuel. Oh. Yeah, but you should be able to get fuel. You know what? You would go right up there and get fuel. Is there some... Are all the signals green? Yeah, now you're out of fuel. You gotta be kidding me. So you sat there going back and forth for who knows what reason. Oh, look at this. Just one signal can bring your entire economy grinding to a halt. Okay, well, now you're probably... Okay, at least he's moving. And the fuel signal doesn't mean he's out of fuel. The fuel signal means he can't find a gas station or diesel refill for train station. So there we go. So he's going to move a little bit slower, but at least he's not moving. The other day I had a train in that kind of limbo and it moved like one, but that might have been because he was too far from a fuel station, so he was just moving like incredibly slow. This guy has a goal, so I guess he's moving, looks like pretty much normal speed. Okay, well anyway, we've solved that problem. Good. There's always something, right? Always something. So in any event, we're really, teetering on the edge, and that's one of the reasons I was a little bit concerned and looking, going back to the economy that is, at what we were importing, right? Because if there's stupid stuff that we're importing, oh look, our food is going up right this minute. Somebody's using food right this second. Let's pause it for 1 minute just so, because whoever's out of food, no, this guy's not out of food. This guy's not out. See, somebody else is out of food. Yeah, this guy's got 11. Who else would be out of food? Is this? Yeah, this is the shop. This guy's out of food. All right, because you're set to purchase 2. Yep. Okay, good to know. Let's get over here, another truck while we have the money. And what do we want? Covered haul. And the famous and arguably most efficient KMZ 5410 covered will do the trick. And now we'll go to this one. And we'll drop it off here. Now, fuel was the big question the other day, but it's good to look at these things, right? Like, why import them for more, and then you wait there, get started. Good. So for the minute, let's assume that this was the culprit, right? And we'll kind of know in the future. Meat. Yeah, how are we doing on meat? I mean, one of the gauges would be... Now, wait, are you guys... Well, let's just check. Was this guy short of meat, too? Yes. Yeah, this is annoying, too, because... I really wish there was extra storage for the meat at that point. Now, do we have... Let's see, all related vehicles. Yeah, that's a covered haul going there. Probably dropping off electronics, I would bet. And yeah, we don't have clothes here very well either. So let's go over to this and just make sure we have, yeah, say our refrigerated vehicle. Make sure he's not in a traffic jam. Oh, wait, is he? No, I guess we shouldn't be buying meat here, but it's sort of confusing. Well, let's take a look here. Purchase a 1 ton, but there you go. Oh, look, they changed that. Nice. Okay, that's excellent. It didn't used to be where you could only go like by big increments. So in other words, when you could only hold 1 ton of thing, you couldn't turn the meat down. So now the question is, yeah, let's just 0.2 tons, right? That's fine. You start buying it, but that'll give this guy a chance to go get meat. Well, whatever guy it is, the refrigerator guy here. It'll give him a chance to run down and get meat and come back before we buy it. Well, that's good. I might go around real quick and... Same thing, can we... no, we can't do it with the clothes, but that's okay. We can... Yeah, so let's approve that. So we'll start... There you go. Like, we only got one little P there. Now, with the clothes, yeah, we can get an idea if we have enough. So one of the things you want to look for is the difference. Is it just a delivery issue to a certain location? So... It looks to me like that wasn't the place that we were having the problem, but we can come, and maybe I'll do that real quick. I'll cut the video here and just go around and... Oh, why can't... Wait a minute. Oh, is it... Oh, that's fine, but we just want 1 ton of meat. Yeah, so we would be buying meat here. So let's go get... Let's go see what the story with meat is. I don't necessarily mind getting... Make sure I don't have a vehicle. That's the construction... Yeah, this is the depot now. There's no... I don't think we're going to have an extra refrigerated truck. Do we have enough meat here? We got plenty of meat here. Now, just like the other day, is it better to come... We need to go all the way over there. I think it's better to come from... Well, not from here. Yeah, it would really be nice to come from here. Now, do we have... Yeah, see, no matter... We don't have meat... You know, I think it's going to be best to come from back over there. I guess I was thinking of this, but nah, this is going to be worse. All right, so let's get another meat truck, and we'll buy it in this depot. Refrigeration, and we'll get the big one. And we'll say, I want you to come from... Oh, where is it? Now, we might end up overloading that parking space a little bit. There it is, right? Meat storage. Yeah, I think that's going to be the most direct route. And then we want you to come to here and wait. Now, the question is that I also have... Yeah, start. How many meat trucks do we have? 2. Okay, so that's fine, right? If we get 2 covered... which will be 2 different food trucks. Yeah, so let's see if we put 2 on the job, if that helps. Now, as we ramp this guy up, I think we're going to have the same issue, right? So let's see who's coming in here. Covered for electronics is usually what I do, because I don't... He's not waiting, so I don't care if he stops by the store and drops stuff off. But when we talk about this... Yeah, so we don't even have a meat drop-off here. So let's go get at least... Well, let's see. What are we doing here? Yeah, we have food. There's not too many people buying from here, but let's go and get another refrigerated and a very similar route, not identical. Depot. No. We're on the road vehicles depot. Yeah. What is this guy doing? Oh, he's just... Alright, did I click the wrong thing? Oh, that was weird, isn't it? Look at that. Look how it moved. I thought I clicked on the construction office because it only had 1 row of purchasable type vehicles, but when you move it over here, you get the rest of your thing. That's fine. I'm not going to look into it too much. Yeah, this guy, we want the mostest. Less trips back and forth, the better, right? All right, so I want you to go over to the meat, and then I want you to come here and wait. Yeah, so I don't, like I said, I don't know how many people, you know, we have, oh, we don't have many sellers. That is a problem. That might be a problem that, yeah, how far away? Well, we're not going to be able to tell from that. But we don't have... Yeah, are you... Let's see where you people will work. Yeah, see, there's no... I don't have any workers coming into here. Or do we do... See, this, the intention that I originally had was like this would be most of our workers. And I think... Yeah, I think we might want to do another thing like that over here to provide workers, right? Because we are getting to be big enough over here that that would be... Now, another thing I said to myself before the episode started was I really don't want to keep increasing my population, which is sort of the end story about when we start talking about our economy. But I need to get workers over here, or else the whole thing's going to fail. Now, one thing, yeah, you know what? We could take workers. Yeah, workers do sit here and wait. And I could take I think it wouldn't hurt us to get another bus with this bus's route. I'm going to do that. I think this is the closest depot over here. Which bus is that? Chav B14. Right. So we'll take this. Yeah, I hate busing, but at the same time, and when I say I hate it, it's just not very efficient. But and then what I think we would do is, how is this guy doing? He's not doing anything. So why? See, I don't understand always. Are you out of range? Let's do. Yeah, but you know what? I want you to prioritize that. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get in there until you do the other one, right? There you go. Good. So hopefully we get. Let's see. I think they'll be able to walk from that bus stop if we get this road done, right? Might be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, there you go. I got plenty of more things that this guy's going to work on. All right, so let me go around and check. But look, we did arrest the meat purchasing, right? Now, I'm not sure. I think that's because we were buying the meat here. And some of this is assumptions. Oh, it just went up a little bit. Some of this is assumptions on my part as well, because I'm assuming we're not, yeah, it just went up another notch. So, one of the things I think I'll do, maybe I won't take a break right this second, but then clothes, I want to take a look at the clothing and get a sense of what our distribution is. Now, the problem with the clothing is that we're just probably not making enough, right? Nah, say again. I've done this several episodes, so I won't do it again, but we have 3 trucks sitting there waiting. Now, you could say we could probably use more people. I'm not sure, what is our crop situation? Well, it's okay, right? Is there, well, we have chemicals. We have crops. Do we have, we have chemicals in here. We have fabric in here. So, really what we could probably talk about is increasing the number of workers here. Now, we might be able to do that with buses, and it might be that the buses get, jammed up in a sense, but maybe the other thing I could be doing is stealing too many people out of here, though I thought I put a lot back. Though I did try to shove some uneducated down here at a certain point. But yeah, we just need to, I think I've come to that conclusion before, but this is just not enough clothing to supply everybody. If you take a look at our overall population, it's up to 31,000. So I've built enough new houses that what I'm afraid of is that I'm not going to have enough money with our current rate of construction in order to supply people with all the stuff they need, right? Especially not, and I know, when you have import situation, but we are importing the clothes. So in other words, that is hurting us. Now, if we took care of the meat, electrical components, that's kind of curious. That might have been when I might have built an electrical thing or something, potentially, that I'm forgetting, right? If I had placed down something like an electrical whatever and auto filled it, it might have purchased those. I'm not sure. I'm not going to worry about too much about 0.06 or whatever it was. Let's just take a look at the Western countries. Meat. So we got a little bit of a meat issue. So I think what I will do is take a bit of a, just put a pause in it and just go looking around at each and every store and, see where else we might have a meat issue. All right, so let me be back in 1 minute, and I'll let you know what I changed. But I don't think it's too exciting for me to sit here and go over each one of these places with you. But I'll just double check to see if the meat's still going up and come back in a relatively short period of time. Okay, so I came in to just see if our meat was still going up. What I did, let's just switch modes here, is not that one. I went in here to all buildings, right? And I picked all, oops. Really? All buildings, sorry. Oh, by the way, picking the name thing does now work. I think when I first started doing this map, or just this game, like these numbers weren't working. But if you're curious to how many people live in a town, if you go to this name list of cities, it does tell you, and the number of buildings. There you go. Old Revergrad, 51 buildings. Now, can you click on this to? Nah, you can't sort by. In any event, well, we want this. So I came over and went to stores, shops, and just clicked on each and every one of these, not the small stores, but the grocery stores or the shopping centers. And these are, like, it does list the ones that are in construction, so you can ignore those. But went to each one and made sure we were buying the minimum amount of meat. And then I came back into our economy screen, and I said, okay, well, then I noticed our food was going up. So I said, okay, why is that? So I figured out that we didn't have any food in the warehouse. So I found that this train, which is the food that goes to the warehouse by Gateway Love, is sitting here in a seldom visited place, and we have this sort of whole fiasco here, right? So what I want to do is prevent this train mess from ever happening again. And what's happened, if you see, this is what happens when you have your signals too close together, right? In some ways, it's this train's fault, but what I want to do is come to our, here, let's play time. I just paused it so that we wouldn't have any worse of a mess. I am going to get rid of that signal, and this train should be able to move forward. I'm going to get rid of this signal. Not that it matters, but this way, we'll get this guy out of the works, right? Now, because there's no signal here, this guy shouldn't move forward. This guy should, right? So what we need to do is also, I don't see any real reason anymore for this crisscross. I hope I'm correct. So in the meantime, I'm going to come here and hopefully get rid of that crisscross without crashing the game. Who knows, maybe they've made it better. All right, so now we don't have the crisscross being an issue anymore, so we should have enough room. We're sort of taking our chances, but at the same time, because we're going to go one way the right way now, right, we really should have... Right, always into the turn or into the junction is a chain. So we're gonna chain these the correct way, and this out of the thing, and then out of the thing, right? So the question would be, well, why is this red? Well, it's because this train's still on this loop. So we could talk about shortening that, but sometimes it's good to put a gap between the trains, right? So that should also make sure, not that they're already going on the right tracks. Now we have the same situation here, right? Where this could be a one-way out. This could be a one-way chain in. Now I'm hoping that there's enough space. You know what, let's get fancy. These were just kind of slapped in there for, now that I think, one way out. So I'm putting that as close as I can to kind of minimize the issues, right? Now this, I think we should get rid of this signal. I would consider that a construction signal. So it's sort of going to make this one big loop, which is a little bit awkward, but shouldn't be too big a problem. But then we'll chain this in, chain that in. So no matter how you get into this block, see, this is a block now. Every place these trains cross. So you can have some really goofy things that get hard for people to understand why they're having problems. But just try to follow the rule of any junction. Anytime these trains cross each other, you want to separate that out into a block. And then you don't want your blocks to be so short that a full train can't fit in there. So doing things like pushing these, if you do have a situation like this, we can even see what happens. Like we could make that a whole block. Well, we'd even want to get rid of these. I just want to see, can I push these? Yeah, I want to put that signal. Oops, wrong way. Wrong one. So as soon as that block turns green, see what I mean? And that little difference, that might matter, right? If you can jam those in that much tighter, that might be the difference between getting a train. So when you're making your turns, try to do big, wide, sweeping turns if you want to not make it one huge block, right? So by doing this, I can get a full train in here. We should be okay. Plus the fact that we now have our signaling correct. They shouldn't back up anymore. Our food train should be able to make it back and forth now. And hopefully we're in good shape, right? So yeah. So I also had to come in here and I'd look at our food just to make sure we weren't having a food crisis here. So we seem to be producing enough food, which isn't overly surprising. And it's one of the reasons I haven't ramped up. I think we could do better with our bakeries and the number of workers, but I think we're doing reasonably well. How is the crops? Yeah, see, we got plenty of crops, and we're doing reasonably well. Now, one of the things that I want to do, I'm not sure how much of it I'll do it in the episode, is as we keep talking about our economy here. Let's just see. Well, it's going to take a little while. This guy's got to get back to Gateway Love, right? So it might take him a few minutes to get over there, but he's filling back up with food, which is great, and he'll head out. And I think that's going to hopefully stop us from buying food. Now, clothes we can't do anything about. We're still buying meat. Gosh, just because I changed all those things doesn't mean I didn't actually check to make sure we had trucks. Now, when I built the original cities, the earlier cities, I didn't always put, boy, that's kind of loud. I didn't always put enough, I didn't put the extra parking spaces. And this is back before we even had the small shopping centers. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing, even though it'll be extremely painful, is I think I might be able to get the small shopping center and the parking in the same area that these two stores took up. But yeah, either that or we're just going to live with it. Now, this guy, let's make sure this isn't, well, this guy has enough meat that he's not actually causing a problem. And we got a full truck that is stopped. Oh, no, he's heading here at full speed, 89 kilometers an hour. So yeah, the meat is getting purchased someplace else. And it's just a matter now of going to each store and seeing which one it is. Now, that's another reason for coming in here. Let's go here. Yeah, we're definitely still buying meat. So even though I think I just want to pause it, we're still buying food, which I'm okay with in the sense of, but why are we buying meat? And I don't know that I want to sit here on camera. That's a kindergarten. There's the shopping center. Ah, here we go. So this guy. Now, do we have... Oh, look at that. We don't have meat getting dropped off here. We don't have a parking thing, so we need another... Okay, well, let's not cut the thing, right? We need yet another refrigerated unit. And I think this one is... Let's close. Well, we'll leave that open. We'll just hide it there for a second. Yeah, because it's right here. So we'll go from here. Yeah, there's definitely no excuse. Now, okay. Yeah, without the parking spaces. But you know what? Here, let's see something here. My debate, what I'm thinking of is, yeah, you know what? You can start your run. Well, we can start time again now, I think. Now, there could be more than the one, right? Is this guy waiting? Yeah, so we already have a truck waiting. But I think if we have 3, I just don't want the other one waiting, right? Let's close this for a second. Right, if we had 3 trucks coming here, yeah, you don't wait, right? So one of the food trucks will wait. No, that's still going to mess us up, isn't it? The question is, do we even need... Yeah, we really need parking spaces, is what we should have done. By we, I mean me, but Yeah. So, yeah, the question is, will this cause a problem? Yeah, see, this guy's just going back and forth. Now, the other thing is, yeah, they're going a pretty good distance, and they're backed up. And this only holds 4 tons of food, so it's really... You know what I think I'm going to do is, let's put... Oh, that's not the right guy. Oh, that's right. We got to get electronics in here, too. So, yeah, so we really can't... Yeah, we got an electronics truck. I'm sorry, I was picturing this different... Yeah, we can't have everybody waiting. We can only have one thing waiting, and what's the best thing to have? The question, I think it's better to have the food waiting because we have less of a buffer. Or we're going to use the food more. So let's take the refrigerated truck off and put the food on wait like we had it before. But now we'll have a refrigerated truck that comes in there and drops off stuff. There he is right now. Yep. And unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be a waste of fuel because we don't have a parking space here. So maybe we should talk about, you know, at some point upgrading things. And I hate to knock down with the way I do construction because it's going to take quite a while to get another store in. So it's almost like we should build a separate store, which might be hard to get in where everybody can get to it, right? If we bought a small shopping center over here, I don't think these people would get to it. So we'll have to see. Either that or we'll just have to chalk it up to inexperience at the time or forgetfulness. But there we go. So we've got meat now coming in, and we shouldn't be purchasing it because I turned all the meat purchasing down to 0.2. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our economy again. Yeah, meat's still going up, so it's not going up just from here. So I probably have similar issues in other places. So let me go look for similar issues, and then I'll be right back. Okay, mini screen's open, but I wanted to lay it out. I paused time because our meat was still going down, even though I know it shouldn't have been because we just got meat dropped off at that store that we found. And I think I figured out that we might not be making enough meat. And here's how I figured it out. I went to the Revergrad grocery store, which is right here. So if we zoom in, it's right in the middle of old Revergrad. It doesn't have any parking spaces, but what we had was a truck that went from the slaughterhouse, which is really close, right, over to the store, dropped off, and then went over to this parking area for the shopping center in old Revergrad. Now, the shopping center in Old Revergrad still has enough meat, right? If we, oops, we're purchasing with dollars here. So if we come to purchase with dollars, we're only storing 1 ton, but we have 1.8, right? So, with that having been said, why don't we have enough? Well, if we look here, we have no food in the slaughterhouse storage, right? And then we have the refrigerated truck coming in. This one is sitting here, has 4.4. This is this truck right here, just pulling out. So I think what's happening is he just got filled up. He might even be, like, it does pick the second truck, like it prioritizes certain trucks. I'm not 100% sure why, at least it was. But the bottom line is we have no more meat. And it's entirely possible, I didn't catch it, but it's possible that this guy sat here waiting to get more meat, and then therefore he didn't have enough to bring it over to the grocery store over here. So, yeah, there we go. Not much I can do about that other than increasing the livestock farm and but we already have 41 workers. We're doing, pretty well over here. Of course, we could do better. There's no point in having more workers here. They're eating up all the livestock as fast as they can. And in the grand scheme of things, realizing that this was an issue, we need Moose Cow to get built. So let's start playing time again. So I think we've minimized the number of things that we're buying at this exact second. Let's go back over to dollars. And you know what? That doesn't make 100% of sense because we were purchasing over there with rubles or dollars? We definitely should probably be using dollars. Oh, we're using rubles. Okay, let's switch that. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, purchase that with dollars, just because the delivery charge, we're right near, we have plenty of dollars, right? We probably did that at some point. Now, as far as this guy, yeah, this guy's doing dollars. They're so close to a NATO port that we shouldn't be buying with rubles. Okay, well, that makes more sense. And there we go. Now, this is going up. Now, iron and coal, I expect, right? Because that's for making the extra steel over by Farminsky there. And then we are purchasing food with dollars. So there's a limited number of places that we're not buying it there. There we go. So we're buying food with dollars here. So what do we have? All related vehicles, refrigerated. Yeah, you know what I think I might want to do is stop this. And I think there's one or two parking. There's only one parking space in there. So, the question is, yeah, that's the electronics truck sitting in there. Yeah, I think this is just a weak way of doing it, right? Yeah, we don't have any food trucks sitting in here. There comes our refrigerated guy. So that means we probably dropped off the food here, right? Yeah, see, we're not buying meat here anymore. The meat stopped going up, but our food still is an issue. And now where are they going? Let's close the refrigerated. Yeah, they're going to Gateway, love. Okay, well, I'm okay with that, remember, because we just fixed that train issue. So the thing I need to keep an eye on between the episodes and just as time goes on is, are we getting a train into, yeah, see the big jam up we have right here? So where is our train? Our train is moving and it's full of food. So how close is he? He's plugging away. He'll be there pretty soon, so that's good. So we've done a lot of economy stuff, yet we haven't really done probably the main thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm not sure if we'll get to doing too much of this, but if I do it between the episodes is talk about our exports, right? We got a few little bricks. We have, let's go back to, well, that's again this month, but it's a little hard to look. Sometimes you have to look at last month because it gives you a better idea, because you don't always export, right? Depends on what you're building, and it's based on maybe getting a whole train over there. That should happen once a month, but might not. All right, so Western countries are spending an awful lot of money, or we're exporting an awful lot of power, seems to be the biggest single thing. Clothes, yeah, see, should we really be exporting clothes? So what that means is I would come over here. I think I want to see, I hate to turn off the exports because they are bringing us in money, but if we're spending, let's see, how much did we spend versus, so 1,800, I'm sorry, 2,800 on clothes, right? So if we come over to here, yeah, 5,500, it doesn't really, because we sell clothes for less than we purchase them for, I don't think it makes sense that we're exporting clothing, right? We're not importing any from the NATO, but we're exporting them to the NATO. So what that means is I would have to come in here. Oh, okay, this shouldn't be too hard. Alcohol. Yeah, see, you know what? We're going to take this off of his route. Now, let's make sure. Oh, another, yep, so we'll take this guy off so he won't. So that should help a little bit, even if they don't, you know, if they get around to here, they won't sell it, which means we should start backing them up a little bit, if that makes sense. Yep, that should be it. So what are we exporting here? That's another good question. What are you doing? What are you doing? Importska. Oh, you're probably doing bricks, aren't you? Unload. Oops. I'm a little confused by him. All right, so alcohol. If I'm okay with, we're not purchasing any alcohol, right? Yeah, there's the bricks guy I was just thinking of. So, yeah, what are you doing? Huh, nothing. How about you stop wasting fuel? Let's just send him back to there, right? What are you? You're alcohol again. Yeah, I'm okay with prefab panels if they get down here. We don't make them plenty of those. Okay with bricks. Yeah, and okay, you're still, you just didn't get canceled yet. Okay, very good. So I think as far as imports could go, we're not exporting anything I don't want to. Now the other question, this is what I was really trying to get at, is if we come to resources, we can get an idea of how much extra stuff we have just by looking down here, right? See, so we have a lot of crops. So I think I probably had shut off the exporting of crops, if I'm correct. So what I think we want to do is potentially see if we can add that back on, especially now that we have the other railroad tracks done. But let's go take a look at the routes that these guys would get at some point here real shortly. So I'm just going to keep going down the list while we have it open. You know, as far as the amounts of other things, you know, we don't have some exorbitant amount of anything else, right? Like, I guess we got a bit of gravel, but I mean, that's not really worth exporting. You know, we have a bit of coal, and I think that's just because I don't want to do any exporting of that because we're going to use much more of that with our steel, right? So there's no real point there. Fuel, well, we are exporting that, and I don't mind having a fair amount extra, but we are exporting that already. And let's just go double check on that just to make sure. Yeah, see, we're actually getting low on bitumen, so we might, let's make sure we have plenty here. We got plenty for road paving, so there you go. See, we're exporting it fast enough, right? And then so it's just, we have excess because of those little tank farms distribution that I've been building. But we're exporting all of our excess if everything's working properly, and I have no reason to believe that train isn't humming right along. So let's go, not there, let's go here and just see what he's doing. So yeah, he's going to Molna he's at Molna now, dropping off that. So we just got a big boost to our money, and he'll come back for some more fuel, and so that export's working pretty well. So really the only thing that's like screaming at me that we could be exporting at this moment that we're not already would be the crops. So the question then becomes, for the trains that are coming over here, right, this should be a large portion of our crops. So let's just open these trains up and see where they're going. One of them, yeah, Chemsol. So this guy, I'm not worried about him exporting, right? He just goes over to Chemsol and sits there for the chemical production. And this, what I want to do is take this guy, yeah, he's a prime candidate for, is he waiting? Anybody who, no, he's not waiting. So the question is, let's go over to see where he's at. No, that didn't really help that much. So he's leaving. Let's go over to, see, he's going to, I should have done this from the beginning. Yeah, he's going into here, and there's no way for him to get, or no easy way for him to get out of here and into there. But what he could do, and I guess I'd rather have the rubles anyway, right, is take a trip back. Right, can he get, yes, so he can get from Molna and then come back in here. So let's do this. Yeah, that. And then have him sell whatever excess he has at Molna. You can sell anything at Molna, but I'm sure it's just going to be crops. All right, good. So that gets that guy, right? Now the question is, these two should be going to food factories. Can they get out of... Not really. So in other words, they're coming up to here. Well, you know what? They probably could, but they'll have to go all the way around, right? Oh, they can't get here either, so they'd really have to go around. So what that's telling me is, and you can see where I did this. I'm not sure how well this will work out, but then... Now, you know what? Now that we have this built, yeah, let's come in here. Yeah, let's lay down some track. It might mean... All right, can we get a... Too sharp an angle? Okay. And will you go the same way? No, no, stop that. Yes. Right. And then, I don't think it, oop, what happened there? Let's make it look, yeah, the road, I don't know why they deliberately make these. It seems like they deliberately make them not straight at times, right? Oh no. Yeah, that's not the prettiest. Right, so now once we get that built, then in the future episode we can come in here and we could get these guys exporting there. So let's commit to that track, and we need to... Well, we don't have any signals there, do we? That's okay. Now we're going to have a problem. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a problem. Trying to get this construction office in and out of here without just a nightmare of train backing up. Right? I'm not sure if I'm even willing to do that, but I think what I could do, if I, well, see, part of the problem is, yeah, I think we're going to take a bite the bullet on our, they have to be able to come in this way. There's no, like here they have an option, but they're not going to be able to come back in. The crops trains are not going to be able to come back in this way unless they can get to here. And these guys need to go be able to go back and forth. See what I mean? There's just so many trains on this line that to expect them to get down to here to do the construction. Well, I'm going to think about that later. This is not the end of the world. The other thing we could just say is, would it be better just to, before we build that, no, don't wait. Let's just see what happens if we send one of them there, right? So let's keep an eye on him. We're running out of time in the episode here slowly, but yeah, you know what? I'm going to... And I probably have an issue with that here, don't I? Yeah, let's just see. Oh, they are waiting here. That's the no, they're not waiting. Or he's not. Yeah, don't wait. Just drop the stuff off and go. And let's just see if that causes problems. And the other thing that's going to do is cut down... If they can't get this way, it's going to cut down on the number of trains that are coming in and out of here, right? Yeah. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'll probably end up doing this mostly off camera. Let me... The other thing... you know what we can do? Can we get a crisscross in here? Let's try it from this way. Nah, I can't get a crisscross in there. Yeah, if I could have got it, well, I guess I could cut down on the potential problems, right? All right, and I think we'll just purchase those two. And then that means I only have to signal it out. Oh, what's happening? Yeah, let's... I messed that up. Yeah, get rid of that and that signal. Yeah, and then this should be, yeah, this should be like it is, right? So that'll force them, when they're regular trains, will be forced to the right track. No, why can't, is there, did I see a question mark train? Yeah, you should be fine, buddy. This will just cut down on the distance. And then these guys should be able to get right in here. But see how I made a new block? So what I need to do is isolate this out, right? So let's put a couple regular signals like here and here, and then here and here. Yeah, and see there's still a lot of trains coming back and forth. All right, well, let's, like I said, I'm just going to bite the bullet and try to be as authentic and true to my build everything with constructions as I can. Yeah, you want to go here and here. Now, why are you guys jamming up? Yeah, let's let these signals. Yeah. So, like, hopefully they'll get out before. Are these guys going? Yes. So hopefully, yeah. We just have to. I just have to hope, and then cancel projects, and we'll get this built. And I'll do that between episodes. I'm just gonna have to babysit it, quite honestly. So, and hopefully those other trains head in some other direction with the crops, even though that's gonna maybe. Yeah, see, no, he's not. I think I'm better off just leaving him that way, because otherwise, let's just get this thing built, right? At least this first part, but yeah, I'm just going to get this built and bite the bullet. Good. Okay. I want to finish up with one topic here. Let me close this. I got a couple comments about needing more schools, and I respectfully disagree. And let's go see if I'm right or not. It's been, most of this episode's been played with time, and then there's been a little bit of time in between the episodes. So, these little towns here are all fine. They have more teachers than they know what to do with. I'm still going to have to micromanage them, moving teachers in and make sure they don't, until I can figure out or decide to build universities there. But let's talk about and see the places that we have had problems. So we're fine in this town, right? Look how many houses we have. Good number of houses. One school, more than enough. Revergrad really wasn't having an issue. So this was one of the areas that I decided to build a new school, right? And when you look at the number of houses, we have 2 schools already. And if you look, and if you compare it to what was happening last episode, we're still not educating all of the kids, right? Like, so you would say, oh, there's still a problem, but notice that there's no longer any adults in here. And there was definitely, like, they weren't even adults. They were like 17 or 18 and 21-year-olds. So if we look at this school, we have a few, but, very few of them are adults. So it shows me that this school is still a little bit overcrowded, right? And it's a matter of getting more people, but we're getting caught up. And this was the worst scenario, right? And my opinion is that if I just let time go forward, we'll get less. Once this school catches up, they'll help out more with some of the students, right? So this one gets all caught up, and all of these kids over here, well, then some of the excess adults that are flooding this school are going to clear that out. So I decided to build a school not because I don't have enough schools. The problem is that I've got too many 18 plus year olds, right? Like those people should have been educated when they were 12 and 11 and 10. So the fact that I let it get too far behind with not having enough teachers over here is the problem. So building this school doesn't break my heart because I do intend to expand, and put maybe some more houses over here one day. But I really don't even need this third school. These guys will catch up. Now, I also don't like, this is taking a long time, right? It's been, months or whatever. I'm not sure the exact amount of in-game time. So I'd rather, if there is an issue over here, which I don't anticipate any more issues because we have our university pumping out quite a few, we shouldn't ever have that problem over here again, right? So I would argue that building this school over here is not a waste, but it's really more for future expansion at that point. It's not because I have to have it. This will get cleared up, and maybe I might not even build this school just to show that, and not so much to prove I'm right, but just to show you what happens when you try to micromanage your teachers and then you fall behind and you run out of not enough teachers. Like I have this building, and if I had 0 teachers there, if you let that go too long, you just get backed up and it takes a while to catch up. And the reason I'm so confident about this is for the 50 years in game time, I've had this issue like 12 times. It's maybe not right here where it's one of the bigger cities, but this is nothing new to me, and it's a product of my misunderstanding of building universities more often. But you really don't need to do that if you're willing to micromanage and you do a better job than I did. So let's go take a look at the other one, because the other comment was about, almost a little bit belligerent at me about needing to do something over here, which is just not true. So if we take a look over here, we still have like a pretty massive issue of like adults and everything else, right? We had the same problem where we didn't have enough teachers in here. And at the time, we weren't getting any students in the last episode over to here. It's like 0 students. It's like, well, yeah, but that's because none of them were ready to go to college. And the school is spending so much time just trying to get the adults pumped and cleared out of here, right? That there's really, and when we weren't maxing out, like with the school, if we don't sort of max them out the teachers and the staff and all of that, we sort of have a problem. So really, to fix this issue, what I should do is make sure that we sort of have a minimum number of professors here, right? So that we're not sending educated people, because it's a 50-50 split that I have between the school and the university. So now that I cut that out, that should increase the number of teachers. But then the real problem that I had here was that I ended up I didn't have enough educated people to really fulfill all the jobs. So if you look, it's not actually a teacher problem I'm having, it's a staff problem. I need to get more staff over here because that's what's limiting that even more. Now I did at one point go around, but I didn't want to steal from everybody, and I wanted to do this on camera. So like here's a bunch of people with their ABCs, right? And a house that's full. I don't want to encourage too much more population growth because of all the economy issues we just went over. But I can come in here and up the number of just normal people, because I had taken out quite a few to try to get, like what we can also do is if I up the number of people here, right? What I can do is take, if there's a good number of uneducated here, right? Let's look for one, like this has 67 uneducated. So let's bounce back over to here. And this, well, we don't want to go to that one necessarily. Oh, yeah, we do. Is this where I took people from? Yeah. So let's go back in here and take a bunch of these people and put them into there, right? So now we have 66 uneducated here. We just took some of the load off of the other one, right? And then oops, close that. And then I can come back to here and shuffle. And I know this is like a major pain in the butt, and you would say, well, why will you ever do that? But what I just did was alleviate a lot of the uneducated and just put regular educated workers over here. And then this house should kind of refill up because that area was kind of overpopulated most likely with plus 21s. Just because, you know, the buildings were all filled up. So does that all make sense? So now we just took that school. There's 65 less adults that are uneducated clogging up our school. And when you consider that, that's not half of the people, but that's, you know, those people would take a lot of the space in the school building, right? And you could continue to do that and take these people out of here just till you get the backlog caught up. And then once you did, you really don't need another school over here. So let's keep playing it, and I'll show you. Again, I'm not saying this is the best or even necessarily the right way of doing it, but the only thing I might have done between episodes is that kind of shuffling, right? To get the right kind of people in here so that there's not this lack of staff, you know, because that's really what's slowing things down now. It's a bizarre problem in a way. Look, but I'm getting more staff. See that? So now that's great. Like if we can get the 10 staff we need, that's going to increase the number of people. See, we got enough teachers. And by the way, without me doing anything with busing or more schools, we're getting students in the auditorium, right? So we'll try to have to balance and micromanage this out a little bit, but there you go. So, all right, well, the episode's probably way over, but I did want to share that with you. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You certainly could put more schools in and you'll educate, but in the long run, we don't need another school over here. It's just because I got all backed up. And I'll show you in a future episode that this is all straightened out with one school. I'm not being obstinate, but you'll see once we do get it straightened out and we get rid of all those adults, this school will keep up with the process. And then we should never have that problem again because we built a university, right? So, good. All right, guys, I better get going. Hope you guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves.